Hey everybody, Tim here, and I thought I would start and document this wonderful journey of building my dream home. So it has been a very, very interesting process so far. I wanted to kind of cover how I got here, what I'm going to build, and kind of document along the way the steps that have been going through. Hopefully there's some information that others might be able to take and apply to some place that they might be building, or kind of see the different things that we do going through the build process, and just for me, for being able to record a little bit of a fun part of my life. So I thought I'd kind of start off just a little bit of why and where I'm building. So about 4 years ago, had bought a condo apartment in Mississauga. Interesting little place. I decided it was a good building, but said, I want the crappiest apartment with the best bone structure available. So ended up finding a real gem, and starting to kind of get actually a pretty good price on it at the time. So it was very interesting, just old 70s carpet, 70s cabinets. The dishwasher, I believe, was even blue still inside, kind of the older styles of everything. And so basically ended up gutting that place. It was a very interesting time, kind of sleeping on the floor while I was demoing the place, and finally got it to a point. My vision was more of a New York style apartment in a place that I could be really comfortable and happy in. So loved the little apartment, great spot. But some of you know I like to tinker on projects. Building cars. I spent years working on kind of the Batmobile. That was a fun project for me. I like to create and build things. And, as I moved into the condo, I wanted to go to a place that I really didn't have to take care of anything, and that, just pay my condo fees, do my bit there. And then I figured out, started renting with my friend Antonio some shop space to continue to come and work on my projects. But what I didn't realize was just how much I missed kind of just going out the door into the garage and working on things when I can. So even though things were only kind of like a 20-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute drive away to get to the shop space, it was always super cold in the winter time. You kind of had to go outside, and then, kind of grimy bathrooms and stuff there. You'd have to pack a lunch and make a day of it. So it was hard to kind of just go down and spend a couple hours, and when you had some free time, it was a trip to make that happen. So earlier this year, so in early 2020, pre-pandemic, started looking around at trying to find a place where I could get some shop space and a place to tinker. I didn't want big living quarters. For me, I loved the little 2-bedroom apartment that we had for Olivia and myself, and the space was perfect from a living space. Didn't want much more or any more than that. I just wanted a place to work and tinker. Problem is, looking around in any kind of the Mississauga, Toronto area, anywhere around here, it just, as soon as you're trying to find something with a 2-car garage that would be detached or anything along those lines, it was just your $800,000 to $1 million just to try to find something that's got a little bit of space that you might want to work in. And for me, I'd love to have like 3 bays of workshop space to be able to work on things. So I was going around, found some real crazy places. One was like a hoarder place up kind of just north of the city. It's fantastic, huge kind of workspace in the back, but the house was it would have to be gutted. But it was huge, fantastic place. But it was just something else from a disgusting standpoint. So ended up starting to take a look around for lots and trying to find an open vacant lot in the GTA is just like good luck. You can hardly find anything. If you do find something, it's usually $1 million, right? I remember living in the old house. We had literally an acre lot that went up for sale, and it went for $1.5 million, right? Just for the land itself. And then other places, they've got old wartime houses that are on a decent sized lot, but you're basically paying, $800,000 to $1 million to knock it down and build something new. Like it's just absolutely ridiculous. So I ended up coming across this little lot in Milton, and I was kind of looking to move out this way anyhow. My girlfriend Devine lives out here, and we've been extremely lucky during this process where I'm filming right now, is in the basement of her house. She's been so kind to allow Olivia and myself to basically make a basement apartment at her place while we're working through trying to get this new home built. So so much thanks. They're super appreciated. My work is in Cambridge as well. Travel is not a big deal at the moment because we're working from home, but everything was kind of better in the idea of moving to Milton. And so I found this little lot, and when I mean little, it's little. It is about 50 feet wide by 60 feet deep. So a little tiny postage stamp of a lot. But from my perspective, all I wanted was a 2-bedroom apartment, and my concept was building a 2-bedroom apartment above a 3-bay garage. Right, and that was kind of my condo living on top of my shop space, and that was kind of a dream home for me. Not a lot of upkeep, and a fantastic place to work on cars and projects and those sorts of things. So when I found this lot, and it was comparatively for around here a reasonable price. It was around, I think I got it for $330 for that postage stamp, but it's right smack dab in the middle of Old Milton, charming little area of town, and so you got all the amenities of kind of the bigger cities, but you're in this small little space, almost kind of like a Streetsville, or kind of the older towns like Chesley and Port Elgin and these sorts of places got some character in their downtown area, smack dab in the middle of all of this metropolitan area. So I was looking at that, and the good news was I had in the 4 years that I had been at the condo, I was able to sell it for a price that's twice for what I bought it. So I was able to get a little bit of a nest egg there to be able to put down, because anybody that's looking to build, banks won't lend you money to buy lots. They just won't do it. If you can find somebody that's at a very high risk lender at a very high rate. So you basically have to pay for your lot and then do some different financing and stuff like that to try to build your home that will be on that lot. But they rarely will finance a vacant lot because it's too high a risk for them. If someone were to walk away, what's the value where they have value in a home and an asset versus a lot? So ended up buying this lot in Milton, and ended up selling my place and closing everything at the end of, I believe it was the end of May. Had it all tied up, but the problem was it was an interesting time trying to make all this thing happen right in the smack dab of when COVID hit and the pandemic. So right then started trying to get some of my designs and things across over to the architect to kind of get work at building this dream home. So that's kind of how we got to this point. So I want to do kind of a video just kind of talking about where this is all starting, and then kind of the next video that I'll be doing is more of this is the house and the process of kind of designing the house that I wanted to build, and what that looks like, what the process looks like with an architect, and then beyond that, the joys of trying to get that approved as a new build inside of a town, especially one that's got a very high value on heritage and the look of different neighborhoods. So that's where we've gotten to today. I wanted to kind of give kind of an episode 1 of how this got started, what the goals were, how I came to be to have this piece of land in my possession, and then we're going to get to designing a house to put on it.